So if this video finds you, then it was meant to. I'm recording this and posting it for anybody who resonates with it. And just think of the fact of how many videos there are on YouTube that you could choose to click on, and how many years of cause and condition and endless little intricate webs of evolution and kind of random decisions have brought you to this moment. So let this video be something that sinks a little bit deeper than every other YouTube video you usually watch. Listen to the words, but the point of this video is to share something deeper than words. It's to remind something inside of you that there's more to reality, to life, to your experience than just the usual conversations and things that people act like reality is all about, right? So feel into that part of you that I'm speaking to. It's already there in you, right? The idea of waking up to your own deepest truth, the truth of reality, the truth of this moment, the truth of you, it's already in your experience. And this video is finding you because the universe wanted to send you a little bit of a reminder to say, hey, don't get too caught up in your mind. Don't get too caught up in your thoughts. You're not apart from anybody else, right? You're not apart from me sitting here recording this video. It's all connected. Our minds are very good at separating reality, right? To constructing the 3D world and saying that, you know, you're a separate individual going about your world, got to look after your responsibilities, got to do this, got to do that. And that's all fair and well. There's nothing wrong with the mind per se, except for the fact that we miss out on the deepest truth of this whole reality, right? So yeah, feel into the part of you that already knows this. This video isn't telling you anything new. That's the beauty of it. It's a little reminder to say, hey, isn't there something deeper in you that knows that this is true? Isn't there a reason that you clicked on this video intuitively, that the universe wants you to know that you're not alone if you're suffering, if you're struggling, if you're dissatisfied with the world, with life. It starts by acknowledging that, right? By acknowledging that, okay, there's something more. There's something in me now that knows that this can't be it, right? There's something missing. And then that part of you is right, in a way. But what you're looking for is right here. It's just a different perspective. Perspective's not even the right word. It's a different emphasis. A different emphasis on your experience, right? Put the emphasis on the intuitive part of you that knows that there's something more to discover about yourself, about why you're here, why you even exist, what you're doing here in the first place. Feel into that, right? Trust it. It knows something, right? It will take you down your intuitive path. Don't worry about the mind. The mind doesn't know the path. It will try to know the path, but your deepest intuition, your deepest prompting, if you sit into it and you feel into it, what is this inner kind of inner intuition? What is it even? that sensation, that experience, that's all you need to trust. So don't work yourself up into the mind's games of trying to know, trying to understand, try to plan. It's all relevant. It all has its place in the perspective of knowing that you're not actually apart from anything. You never have been. How could you actually be apart? How can you be apart from creation itself? Right? The mind, the egoic mind feels so separate, so isolated. But actually, how is that even possible? The creative, intelligent force of the universe, you can call it the universe, the divine, God, life itself, this intelligence that made something appear out of nothing, right? How can you actually be separate? How can you be separate? What are you separate from? Where do you exist that the universe doesn't? You are the universe looking out and experiencing the experience of separation. The experience of being an individual, but it's an experience. It's an experience in the same way that you can experience eating chocolate, but you're not chocolate. You're not an individual. You are in one sense, right? The relative view of reality is the relative view of reality in relation to this glass. This is a glass and this is me. That's not wrong, but that's one view. That's one way that this can configure itself. But what is it that's actually configuring itself, right? That's the question. What is configuring itself to make this experience of being me, right? What is this me in my experience? So, yeah, I'm recording this to touch into that sense in your own experience. Your deepest truth that knows this. It knows it beneath all the thoughts, beneath all the struggle, beneath all the suffering, beneath all of the whatever it is. There's something in you that has never actually suffered. It's never actually forgotten. It's just, we get so hypnotized by the story, right? To go back to the eating chocolate analogy, the story of our experience, that we completely forget that it's an experience, this whole being human thing. It's one way that reality is playing out currently. But to see that there's something in you that's actually untouched, right? Before you were born, where were you? You can ask yourself these kind of questions to explore your experience and get in touch with this aspect of experience. So these questions don't make sense to the conceptual mind, right? If you ask yourself that question, who was I before I was born? Or in Zen, they have the koan, what was your face before your parents were born? This can get you in touch with the eternal aspect of being that's never been touched. But it's not answerable in the conceptual mind, right? There's no conceptual answer to who were you before you were born. It's not a question that the mind is used to asking, like the type of question that the mind is used to asking. It's a tool. It's a tool to open up your experience. That's what it is. It's not to stay in the thought realm. It's to touch into this, right? This before it's turned into a story. This is where you've always been. This experience, right? The mind is always talking about past and future, about where if you have a conversation with somebody, you can't actually talk about this. No one talks about this. no one talks about it. This. You can't talk about it. What can I say about this other than this? So it's not a story. It's your experience. Just as it is. But not in the timeline of you. There's a reason that it feels so uncomfortable to live in thoughts, because that's the little signal saying, hey, there's something more. There's a different way to orient. There's a different way to experience reality. So trust it. You've got the keys. Every single moment of your reality is here to wake you up. If it's what you want. If it's what you want, then you can't help it but wake up. You will wake yourself up. Because you are this expression of whatever it is. I can't put a word on it. What is this before language? Impossible to put into words. But you're free from the need. You're free from the need to collapse reality down into a box of beliefs and views and orientations. If you want to let go of the story of you. So feel into that. If something in you is like lit up by this, then that's great. You're on the right path. There's a reason you found this video. Awakening is already happening. You wouldn't be watching this if it wasn't already happening. It's beyond the egoic mind. This process, it happens. It starts to filter through in your life. And then you just have to orient towards it. Be open to the endless pointing back into yourself. Each moment is pointing you back into yourself if you're open to it. If it's what you want. So, whoever you are that's listening to this is just reality, the universe, sending you a clue in the form of a YouTube video. If you found it, you were meant to find it. keep looking for the clues.